And action.
Aloha, and welcome back to Mystimon Saga, a world like no other, where people must live alongside and with mystical creatures and where magic comes alive, under siege by forces beyond and within. I'm your host, GM Seth, aka Seth R. Mitchell, and I am today once again joined by our players, Binary,
Hello.
Twilight, Shadow,
What up?
and L.
Hi.
Unfortunately, Sai or Cynthia has had to drop out for the time being due to mental health issues. We wish her the best and wish her a quick recovery. She'll be back as soon as she recovers. Anyways, when we last left our investigators, oh boy. Ada got herself into some trouble. Ada got herself into some trouble, to say the least.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's putting it lightly, my man.
To say the least. So, Binary, or Bastille and Soma, you two went to the Capitol building here in Evergreen City because you wanted to meet with the Lady Fiore and ask her some questions. And, well, Ada tagged along. And she wandered down into the basement of the Capitol building where she really didn't belong. She really shouldn't have been down there, and then was just wandering around this place she really should not be, and ended up wandering into this back room, and the door slammed and shut and locked behind her. Well, in this back room, she did happen to find what looks like some kind of treasure map that seems to point to an island off the eastern coast of Olympus called Oak Isle. So, at least her wandering was worth it, even though she really shouldn't be there. She really shouldn't have been here.
But in the end, we got a sweet ass holy treasure map.
But then Ada was locked in this room. And
so we had to payday this.
And so Cole, Rat,
Holden,
Zoe, and their new saber-toothed friend Elsa, they decided to go see if they could rescue Ada from herself.
again, Cole did not. He is not going to be breaking into a government building as a gold
Right. That's fair. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, Cole isn't dense like Ada.
He knows what happens if he breaks in and gets caught.
Totally fair. So that was a whole ordeal, and Rat got a whole bunch of kisses and licks from Elsa as they kind of cuddled a little bit as a ruse to get into the building, but I wonder for who it was more real or something or whatever.
It's real to me.
Does Rat maybe have a crush?
But are you real?
Mayhaps.
Maybe Rat has a crush. Anyways, as Bastille and Soma knocked on the door of Lady Fiore, there was no answer. There was no answer. And you opened the door. She wasn't there. Where has she gone? And that is where we pick up. It has now been 2 days later. You have been spending your time looking around the city for Lady Fiore. I assume it's all hands on deck to try to find this the Olympus representative candidate.
It would.
If Crystal
be
tells
like,
us it is.
yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, Rat would be like, all right, fine. But like, if not, then I would have talked to like the crazy man.
So,
I was about to say,
about
I
the
admit I have
spirits.
no idea who I'm even with at the moment.
So what kind of leads do you think you're all trying to track down?
Well,
What
I'm
is
trying
the
to
best?
find out. Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, well, Rat is trying to figure out like more stuff on the crazy man and the side case of the primal woods, since that has stuff to do with spirits, and he is a ghost hunter, so that's his inclination. But unless Crystal says something like, "Hey, we don't have time for that. We got to focus on this right now," then he will
That is
begrudgingly-
absolutely what she would do, because when the Olympus representative candidate goes missing, that's important. You need it's. That is like the most important thing. When a major a candidate goes missing, that's very important. So Crystal absolutely would say, yeah, it's all hands on deck. We need to find her.
Cool. You know what would have happened in those 2 days?
What?
Object reading on her stuff in the office.
Okay, Soma and Bastille doing object reading on everything.
You know
in
it
her
would have
office.
happened.
Absolutely. And there's 2 of us.
There's no world where it doesn't happen.
You
Yeah.
can't. There's 2 of us, and we each have at least 50 Mystia points apiece. There's nothing you can. There's nothing we won't touch.
Okay, well, I hope Soma is handling anything that's like kind of a feminine product.
In the drawer that the emergencies drawer.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Lady Fiore is the type of person
Sarah?
who go ahead.
Did Sarah come back?
Sarah Ariane? Yeah.
Okay. So Sarah, we have seen Sarah since she had her argument with Ron and ran off into the woods.
Yeah, you have seen
Okay.
Sarah since she had her argument with Ron and had her argument with her wife. Sarah did come back into the city. She's just as things between her and her wife seem rather cool at the moment. But you're not entirely sure why. Anyways, Lady Fiore is the type of person who does focus a lot on her appearance. So, Soma, you would find things in her drawers in her desk, like makeup and stuff like that.
When we found the office and when we opened the doors to find she wasn't there, were there any signs of a struggle in general?
No.
Okay.
And it's probably not Phoenix Wright type questions.
So, what are you going to use object rating on? There's a lot of books and papers, of course, on her desk. There seems to be a lot of papers regarding her campaign. And what you're able to find out is that her opponent in this election is a man named Vincalmo Stormire. Vincalmo Stormire. And apparently the campaign has been rather vicious. You find a newspaper sitting on her desk where Vincalmo is lodging these really vicious, hateful attacks against her and is attacking her for her years of being in Olmana or the Quarchka Islands with the Tribunal in Kyrene and painting her as a traitor. Because she wasn't at Olympus, she was spending time out of country to this guy that apparently makes her a traitor.
What's the date on the newspaper?
The date on the newspaper is from the 4th of Endora. So the previous day from when you found the office empty.
Then that, I think, is probably the first thing I want to touch.
Bastille just be going for the desk in general.
So, okay, let's tackle that first. Soma, you object rate on the newspaper, and you see the scene of Lady Fiore having this really heated discussion with her campaign manager. And her campaign manager is telling her, you do not stand a chance against this Vincalmo person. You should drop out of the race. Because these attacks are... some polling for whatever reason seems to be kind of showing that Vincalmo's attacks are sticking. And Lady Fiore is furious with her campaign manager and is... It actually seems like she fired him.
Does she use his name?
Her campaign manager... yeah, she does use his name. His name is Aramoral. Aramoral. Let me type that in the chat.
Good, because I'm sure I didn't spell it right. Huh, that was actually closer than I thought.
And this is
Only
the name
two
of her
vowels.
opponent. That's the name of her opponent.
I'm gonna set that down and say, Bastille, what have you found?
So, Bastille, you're looking through things on her, through other things on her desk. Anything in particular?
So I was going to cast on the desk in general because I assume that's where she sits at and would be more centralized to the office, so might be more near to any emotional events that happen comparative to anything else in the room. if anything happened in the room
Yeah,
itself.
Yeah, sure. So, what you find when object reading the desk itself is actually really interesting. Because you see this scene of Lady Fiore actually having a really long discussion, or really long and emotional discussion with Kyrene. It appears that Kyrene was actually here. She was actually here. You haven't seen her at all in the city. So it's it's a little odd. But
I will.
she had a very emotional conversation with Kyrene, and that no. Who would
That
think
no?
who would think a sweet old woman like Kyrene would be an assassin? Yeah, she's in her late 40s, almost 50.
I want to deeply apologize to every person, every millennial for Seth calling us old.
Yeah, like I was about to say, like, what exactly would you even call play early 20s if you call play late 40s?
Gen
early
X
50s?
listeners
Okay.
know that Seth does not speak for
I'm pretty
all
sure
of us.
Seth just called himself old.
Okay. Okay. For a telepath, that is old, because telepaths don't tend to live that long.
She does. She has been dealing with what are they called? The shivers, the shakes.
The shakes. It's
Wobbles,
kind of like
shakes.
seizures. It's like kind of like epilepsy, really.
Because everyone's brains grow too big for their heads for telepaths.
Everybody knows this.
Honestly, still can't believe that Seth would call himself out like that is old.
For your information, I'm 39.
That is 1 year away from the age range you gave.
And I was about to say, like I say, I'm still in play early 20s.
Okay. L, edit this out.
That said, if you're over 40, remember that
Seth thinks you're old.
cancer screening guidelines, and you should be getting a yearly mammogram.
It's a Alpha, leave this shit in.
This has been a PSA.
Okay, I will follow L's instructions.
Also, don't forget to go to your optometrist and get screened for presbyopia and glaucoma.
I will be sure to follow L's instructions.
Anyways,
Kyrene is here.
The important thing, Kyrene's here, yeah.
In the memory, not actually here.
But that means she is here in Evergreen City.
Okay. Anything like important in their conversation, or no? Just
it was a really. It seems to be that it was a really emotional conversation. Lady Fiore surmises maybe it was a mistake for her to help with the tribunal for so long. But Kyrene reassures her and tells her that it wasn't a mistake at all, and she's not a traitor to Olympus.
I will convey to Soma that Kyrene seems to be here. And that since we weren't on a website. And there's one other thing I'd like to focus on when object reading the desk. I'd like to try and focus to find if there are any events of Lady Fiore opening any hidden compartments in the desk.
That's very interesting.
Thank you. There might not be any, but it's worth a shot.
Not that you can find.
Okay, well, it's worth a shot.
If you want to see if there's any hidden compartments, you can certainly roll a perception check.
I mean, I'd probably upcast it to where, like, if it's to 4th, where I could learn about an event that occurred within the last year. So if she's never opened it in the last year, I'm doubting there would be one there.
Well, I am kind of following the literal description of the spell itself, where it says an emotional event, and that's what I'm pointing out for you is emotional events.
Okay.
So she's never opened the drawer while crying?
Or angry?
You would note that Lady Fiore doesn't seem to really show a lot of emotion, which is not exactly out of the ordinary for Gelvarin, but it's definitely notable for her.
I'll go ahead and make my perception check for hidden compartments. And my Elon will too. Never mind, I don't need my Elon.
That was almost a 1. That was almost a 1.
It was almost a 1, but it was a 19 for 37.
Yep, 37.
Yeah,
37.
That's the one thing that I both love and hate about D20 stuff. 2 and 20 are next to each other, and so is 1 and 19.
So,
the second part is
right, let me frame this out. What you find as you're searching around the desk for any kind of hidden compartments, and I would assume that as soon as you try to get to the drawer that someone found the feminine product in, she stops you.
It's just makeup. That's what you said.
Yeah, makeup and other things.
Honestly,
other things.
That's where I would keep my secret compartments. Just saying.
Seth, we can say tampons. It's okay. It's not a curse word.
This is a PG-13 rated show.
Tampon? Are you gonna tell me tampons are PG-13?
Okay, I think this is what we have to cut. Where you just hold the advertisement.
This entire section of us just dragging Seth for ageism.
Just going roll the advertisement so you figure the shit out.
Anyways, your secret compartment best deal.
This is our type of class humor, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
So you look around in that said drawer. The beauty drawer, we'll call it, I guess. And you kind of move your hand like under the top of the desk, the pharmacy. And actually, you you find that your hand is too big for this work.
I will
And
inform Soma of its location.
Did you find something? I'm gonna kind of run my hands where Bastille pointed.
you run your hand
Yes.
along there, and you kind of press a bit, and suddenly something opens up. And this flaps, this sort of flap kind of opens up from the top of the desk, and in there you find some documents.
While it's opening, see invisibility, look around the room, make sure nothing's watching us.
Nope.
I'm waiting for you, Xulgoth. I'm waiting for you.
The only thing you do see, quite honestly, is actually Crystal's spooklar.
I just make eye contact and do the 2 fingers to it, 2 fingers to my eyes, be like, I know you're here, mother.
And the ghost Mystimon just swoops into the bookshelf along the wall, and about a second later, a book flies out from the bookshelf directly at your head, Bastille.
Headshot.
I catch him.
Also, I was about to say, I just thought of the most random clip when you said that the book was aimed towards Bastille's head.
Yeah,
But I was thinking of
there's a book flying at your head, Bastille. Do you want to roll a reflex save?
Yeah, as I said, I catch it.
Sure. Go for a reflex save.
Does it want to roll an attack roll?
Roll a reflex save.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. $29.
You don't actually manage to catch it. You just manage to move your head just as it whisks by, and it hits Soma.
A 29 reflex save can't catch a book?
Level based DC, baby.
Is this book moving at Mach 9?
Yeah,
Wait,
the book of whoosh.
It's
like
book of
a
astrophysics.
child can be tossed a book and catch it. And I can't imagine a child's got a plus 16.
Like I was about to say, if anything, it's just a book of astrophysics.
So Soma took 3 bludgeoning damage to the head.
Smack. I
Now just
stumbled
thinking
from the open desktop.
For your information, I rate the DC to actually catch something a bit higher.
Apparently.
Jesus, like, now I'm just thinking of that one bit from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just, yeah, that's fine. Heads up, boom. Like, you know the one that I'm thinking of? I'm guessing
And
Shadow
then Spooklar comes out of the bookcase and is snickering, and then it sees that it hit Soma, and it's like, oh, and it kind of sinks into the floor.
Run or you will join the ghosts in my body.
Dang, I wish my character was there.
And it comes out of the floor right next to you, Soma, and it has like these puppy dog eyes, and it looks really, really, really sorry.
Does it become visible because it was invisible?
Yes, it does.
Then give it a narrow-eyed glare.
It would be very funny if it just stayed invisible the entire time.
Yes. Yes, Twilight. That.
Just yeet.
Yeet.
It slowly goes back to invisible.
This is how I imagine it being doing.
So
Play STO memes today, folks.
But the desk is open. The secret compartment.
yes, the desk is open. The
There's
secret
documents
compartment is
inside.
open. And what you find in the secret compartment is some files, some papers. And these files and papers seem to have a lot to do with the tribunal. You also find what looks like a bunch of threatening letters. And when you look at these at the envelopes, these threatening letters came from Vinkalma, her opponent. They seem to be a lot of death threats. And you do know that he's been launching a rather vicious campaign against her.
This is as we pulled these out and start going through them, I say to Bastille, I saw her arguing with her campaign manager, Aramoral. It seems, I mean, I push the newspaper along. Vincamo has been running a smear campaign against her, but it is quite a jump from a smear campaign to death threats. Are these I'm gonna like hand some to Bastille and just be like we can, to split these up basically, and I want to cast object reading on one of the death threats.
Okay. You do find that the death threats were written about a year ago. Starting actually about 2-3 years ago, and then all the way up to about a year ago. And you know that the council elections were announced about a year ago.
So that there's nothing more recent than a year, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Bro was born to be a day one hater.
Apparently.
What is the content of these letters? Like, is it, is it basically the same thing as what he's been saying in the newspapers, just with, more violence? Or is it like different content?
I would have to very much censor this at this moment, because the exact content would be kind of R rating.
I'm not asking. I'm asking like broad strokes.
Broad strokes. It's
like, is it like you should die because you're a traitor to Olympus, or is it like I hate you because we dated, and like are they roughly the same thing, or is it like super out of left? Is it like super out of left field and completely different from?
It's definitely, you would definitely rate it as super out of left field compared to the actual campaign to compared to what he's actually said publicly.
So what is his what is the root of his hatred for this woman based on these letters?
That's what you're kind of finding a hard time looking for. You're finding a hard time looking for what is the root cause here. What is the actual root here? Is it truly that she spent so much time at Alma in the Quartic Islands, or is it something else? You're finding a hard time trying to nail that down. You do find that there were about 30 or 40 letters, and she just stuffed them here into this secret compartment.
Okay, sorry. So I'm just gonna keep pushing at this. I apologize. Is it are we having a hard time finding what the root of his loathing for her is, because each of the letters is kind of changing? Like each letter seems to be about something different, or is it because the content of them is focused on his imaginings of doing violence to her and not about the reasons for why he wants to do that?
You're finding a lot of just sheer just a lot of threats of doing violence to her, and it's a lot more vicious than than what he says publicly. But you are starting to wonder if maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something other than her being a quote-unquote traitor. It is a lot more vicious. It is like... It's like, how do I say this without being political?
I mean, these are sick fantasies about doing violence to this particular person, not political screeds that happen to include death threats.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Make me a perception check.
Both of us?
Mostly you, because you're the one really reading the content.
I'm really disturbed by them, I guess. Not really. Everything's just starting to blur together into, my own personal giallo film.
Yeah,
I mean, I was handed some to object read as well, just in case they were.
Yeah, you can go. You can go ahead and try a perception check.
Right.
Poco a poco avanzamos.
This just seems like a regular letter.
21 and 24. Yeah, you don't really know either. I think it's more that, but still being an automaton and being the kind of automaton that he is, doesn't really understand the emotional level of this. He's having a hard time kind of sensing motive here.
Yeah, as I said, just seems like a regular letter.
Yeah. Yeah, but for Soba,
it's Xulgoth a letter saying I'd kill him, I'd send one.
For Soba, it's a little different. She's really just disturbed by the emotional aspect of this. She's really disturbed by the letters.
I think that we should we should take these back. I actually, I imagine. Okay, so question, Bastille. Did we break into this office, or did we go and find someone, and now we're doing this under some kind of official auspices?
I mean, like, because this was over the span of 2 days, I assumed we would have like gone back and informed them, like, hey, she wasn't there, and then the secretary we talked to would be like, what do you mean she wasn't there, and kind of went from there.
Okay, good. That's what I was hoping. Because what I'm going to say is, I think we should take all of these. There might be something that one of us can do later, to try and find out more about these letters, trace them back.
Yeah, and we were definitely hoping that's what you were going to say, because Crystal is already has the Magi Guard hating her enough. She doesn't need them hating her even more for chain of evidence.
What?
I put an official little placard right here, and then take a picture with our image recorders, and then wrap them up with a little bow and take them with us.
Yeah, because don't make any question of it. The Magi Guard are also investigating too.
Are the Magi, sorry, apologies. Are the Magi Guard not an so they are an international police force of some kind?
Yes.
Okay. They're not just localized to. So wait, if that's the case, what's his, how is the press eating up? Never mind. Okay.
We'll probably figure that out later.
So, looks like you're looking at Vincalmo as possibly a suspect here.
Yeah. I do want to, I want to track him down. I'm also interested in what's his name? Moral.
So,
I mean, to be fair, when the guy's been running as vicious a campaign as he has, and she disappears, the first person everyone looks to is him.
Yeah, so it does add up, like, basically, suspectability by accountability. Well, I forgot what it was actually called, but by being considered close to the person that was eliminated. Association, that was...
Yeah, association by guilt. Or something like that.
So I was wanting to run an object reading on the door to her office as well, in case it's a case where because obviously they thought she was in the building. So in case it was a case where she got to her door and something happened.
That's fair. So you object read on her door, but it appears she never actually came to her office.
Okay. So it's worth a shot just in case.
Sure.
Okay. So I have a question. So you say it's 2 days after the event. So technically she's been gone for 3 days? Well, 2 days and a half?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 9 a.m. on the 7th now.
Okay. I'm trying to get a timeline in my head, that's all. Okay. So when would Bastille and Soma go back to like the scene to like be like, oh crap, let's go look back? Would it be like the day of or like the day after?
Yeah, all of this stuff was definitely the day of. I have some other
Yeah.
stuff I want to do the next day.
Okay.
Okay.
Just trying to set up a timeline is all.
So
Yeah, no, that's a very
definitely, it definitely kind of seems not the right time for Ada to say, "Hey, look what I found."
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's Ada's choice to do that. Like we all go back to the tavern. I got.
Jeez.
I forgot I have her on the leash.
Even though you're only up to her damn knees.
I'm a strong little guy. I have a +4 to strength.
Hey, don't say that like putting her at 8'4" isn't a wild size.
To be fair, Galvarin or actually Fae in general are rather, they're tall and slender.
Yeah.
And it's kind of something that they inherited from their ancestors.
There's being tall and slender, and then there's being Slender Man tall and slender.
We don't even
man.
know how tall the man is.
Okay.
So
So, oh, sorry.
on the 7th of Endora, what are you doing the next day, Soma?
I mean, on the next day, or like,
Yeah.
so that first day, who immediately goes to, like, does Aramoral like get picked up the very first day, or is like when you said that everybody looks to him, like what's the timeline on that happening?
Well, Vincalmo, yeah.
Wait, I thought you said it was her. I thought you. Sorry, I think
Vincalmo is her opponent.
Yeah, our
Yes.
moral is the campaign header.
is the guy
correct?
she fired. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought he was the one that you said that it also immediately becomes a suspect. Because they had a loud argument and she fired him.
Yeah, our moral doesn't become a suspect until, as far as you know, right now, our moral is not a suspect. The attention is on Vincalmo.
Okay.
Okay.
And so when you say that, what is the timeline and the content of that attention? Is it the Magi Guard? Is it the press? Is it?
There is a lot of press around it. Or at least a lot of attempted press on it. From what you actually see in the newspapers, it actually seems to be rather hush-hush. Because the message you're getting is that the Evergreen City officials don't really want the optics of a council election candidate going missing just before the opening ceremony of the championship games.
What?
So
In
it's
fact,
like page 3 news as opposed to front page news.
if it shows up in there at all.
The fold.
Yeah, if it shows up in there at all.
Fine, guys. Nothing's going on. Smiles.
Page 3 below the
Look
fold.
behind the curtain.
Lady Fiore misses public appearance. Supporters baffled.
It's a little bit like the early 1890s in Chicago when the World Fair came to Chicago. There was actually a lot of murders that were happening around in the city around that time that were kept out of the press. That they were. It seems like there was kind of a suppression campaign going on because the city of Chicago didn't want the optics of all these murders going on right at the same time as the World Fair is starting up.
Okay.
It's a little bit like that.
Okay. So that said, Vincalmo, when you say attention is turning to Vincalmo, does that include the Magi Guard?
It is
Or
the
is it just
it is
Igor we're
absolutely the
talking
Magi Guard. Absolutely, Magi Guard are definitely looking at him.
Do they like pick him up and bring him in, or do they seem to be questioning him at all? Or just like he's a person of interest or whatever?
Well, you're getting the message that the Evergreen City wants to keep this hush hush, so they're definitely looking at him. It looks like they are definitely looking at him, but they don't seem to have enough to actually pick him up or anything.
There's no formal arrest since that would bring attention to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that said, thank you for answering all of those questions, which help me figure out what it is that I want to do, which is on day 2, I want to prep Shadow Spy and cast Shadow Spy to basically like send a little critter.
Day 2 or day 1 after the event?
Day 2.
Okay, so the day of, and then there's another day, and then the
Yeah,
day.
it happened on the 5th of Endora, and this is she's doing this on the 6th of Endora.
Yes.
Okay, just trying to get the timeline set up so that everyone can follow along.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest, although I can put a pin in this if there's anything that anybody else wants to do the first day on the 5th of Endora.
Well, when some of the Bastille come, do they come at night? Like, do we all talk about this in like the tavern, or we go like all scrunch up into like a tiny little room and discuss this privately?
Crystal comes to you like immediately as soon as she hears about this, and she actually brings Kyrene along, and she's also with Floor. No sign of Sarah Ariana anywhere.
I too am with the floor. It seems to be everywhere I go.
So Floor is here, Kyrene is here. That's two the two candidates for two of the candidates for Almana. Actually, not Almana. Floor is the candidate for Quartica Islands, and Kyrene is a candidate for Almana.
So would we all be scrunched up into a like? What would some of Bastille
Crystal
do?
Crystal would bring you into a separate room that she actually rents upstairs in the Wilted Tree Tavern. She also brings in Elsa because she's a representative candidate for Zlamba. And she also brings in Carrie Carmine, another representative candidate for Almana for seat 2. So there's 2 seats that people are running for the council for each nation. 2 seats per nation.
Okay. Alrighty then. I'm assuming someone Bastille would share the information, or would they like hide some of the information in front of candidates?
I mean,
That's a
like,
good question. To be quite honest, I don't know that Soma or Bastille are dissembling enough as personalities to think to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I was gonna
asking
say.
because Brad is that type of bastard. Like,
Yeah,
oh
no,
yeah,
Best still would treat all of the information equally. So she was gone. There was a thing. There was a secret compartment or desk. In that compartment, there was some murder threats. Also, object read the door, but didn't seem anything there. Just truly like same weight as. Oh, also, I found nothing here.
Yep.
And on the way out, Soma of the building, Soma did ask the receptionist where we could find our moral. If
Find
she
what?
had any wording. Our moral?
Our moral. Okay. The receptionist doesn't really know.
He didn't leave a forwarding address. What about his paychecks?
Well, you see, there are actually laws and bylaws where the campaign office is kept separate from the actual government office.
Oh, okay.
well, that's convenient.
Okay, well then who can I talk to?
So,
where's the campaign office located?
So the receptionist also doesn't know anything about that.
Does she know where her boss's campaign office is located? Man.
The receptionist doesn't really seem to be totally with it.
I'm regretting inviting her to karaoke as Zoe. Or whatever it was they did last
time.
3 blocks away, Zoe feels like a chill run up her spine and mutters to herself, I think I might need better friends.
What was that?
Don't worry about it. Just walked over my grave or something like that.
So I believe it was diplomacy. Diplomacy. You would want to roll to go around the city and gather information on where the campaign office is.
Yeah, I was actually going to try to do that. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, Coldra is silently thanking any gods in existence that he did not go anywhere near that office. Because, now that someone's fully disappeared, if they found out it was a golem, he's like, I would for sure be on that list.
Oh, geez.
He's like, thank God I didn't go near there the day that she disappeared and just stayed at the end.
Yeah.
Are there any rooms at the end?
I mean, I had asked before. You said there was a room. If there was a room large enough for me, you said,
being funny. I was being funny.
Do better.
But yeah, so when
Literally just the wall of false within that one statement. Just do better.
So when Bastille just
how much of this are you going to keep in L?
None.
None.
Yes, I keep that in.
Perfect. So when Bastille yapped every information, there's gonna be like Rad's gonna give him like that view of like that. What up? Why? Why would you tell all this information to everyone that could, like, in Rat's mind, every candidate is a suspect?
Well, but they're not her opponents.
Yeah, they're not her opponents.
But let's say you can get rid of someone, get a candidate that favors your area, essentially. You know what I mean? You could get a candidate in the seat that favors your area.
Was that candidate is the point.
I see.
So yeah, if you want to go out looking for the
Almoril, this Almoril person, I'll check up on the morning when I wake up, and once I put the leash on this lost lady again, he points to Ida. will go. What?
Yes, I don't get lost. I just tend to lose sense of direction.
And that's why I have a leash on you, so that what I don't. That way, when you lose your sense of direction, I'll be here to guide you with a gentle touch. It's a win-win
You know
for
what?
me and
Everyone
you.
have a story point. Everyone have a story point.
Well, I was about to say, pardon the next comment, but how exactly are you going to be able to do that short stuff?
Oh, okay. Just
So-
because I'm short doesn't. Okay, I see. You know what, Ida? I like you. You're a cool friend. You're a really cool friend. But you know what? That's kind of mean. And he's just gonna like try to flex his like flabby muscles.
So, Soba, just as you're heading out of the Wilted Tree Tavern, on the morning of the 6th, you notice Crystal in a heated discussion with Kyrene, and make me a perception check.
Soma or Zoe?
Soma.
Man, Rat's busy putting the leash on.
Mhm.
So, Soba, what you pick up is it sounds like Kyrene was kind of running unopposed in her election. And you hear a lot about how she hates politics. You know that quite well by now, that Kyrene hates politics. But it seemed for a while she was running unopposed. But now it seems news came out that Kyrene all of a sudden has an opponent. And it's who that opponent is that is... You're getting a lot of, like... What you're picking up is a lot of, like, anger and... like, Crystal, like, is very angry and furious at this news.
Is it Crystal's mom?
No.
Oh, okay.
Worse. It's her uncle.
Uncle Bear!
I don't get it.
Xulgoth. It's
Xulgoth.
Xulgoth.
Oh,
Wait a minute. He's Xulgoth?
Is he even a citizen?
he's the big bad.
Oh,
Was he even what
it's
are
not
the what are the rules for running for public office in Almana? Is he a voter? Is he even registered to vote?
Xulgoth, it does appear he is an Almana citizen.
Does he just do mail-in voting every year?
like, man really just came out of nowhere to run against their fucking niece.
Yeah, he's what?
He's not running against his niece. He's running against Kyrene.
Oh,
Crystal is his
man.
niece.
Funny. Oh, this
Man,
is really
Fessio's
funny.
gonna
So,
have
wait,
a bad day.
Jeez.
You know, honestly, I feel like we should throw the full support of the hidden archives behind Xulgoth, because maybe getting elected to public office will keep him out of trouble. Like,
We know he can be at multiple places at once.
that's fair.
Exactly.
That's fair. Can
We
he
don't
pay
know.
attention to multiple places at once, though?
Seemingly, because he had the one shooting stuff at you while he was searching for the tablet
That's
that
true,
we
that's
found.
true.
The Aegis thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I do have a question though. Would they have been able to give a good enough description to where Bastille could have gotten a sending out to Lady Fior? since that could drastically change the name of the game if we could contact her.
If you could contact her,
Correct. through
you've
the
met
spell
her.
sending.
You've met her.
Oh yeah. Okay, then yeah. Like if I use sending, does that reach her?
What is the range on that?
Planetary.
Planetary.
It's a 5th rank spell.
A 5th rank spell. While you're doing that, Soma, you're heading out with Rat, I take it?
No. Soma is heading to Vincalmo's to find Vincalmo. Zoe is heading to find the campaign, Lady Fiore's campaign.
Okay.
Whatever.
Amaru.
Okay.
And considering that leech thing level Rat goes, Ada is going as well.
I mean, unless she's your Jax, I mean, he's not going to leash her up. And she's not going to treat her. She's like, hey, I'm going to go out. You want to come with?
Yeah, like I was about to say, if anything, Ada's more or less just going along with it for now. Like, she's just here for a good time.
So this is the kink thing.
Wait. I just realized I probably could avoid that battle with
Wait a minute.
Yes, please do. Please word that better.
Wait a minute. I don't know. You know what, Ida? I didn't realize you're into this type of thing. I did not intend the relationship to be like that. It is just strictly to protect you from yourself. Nothing like that.
Like, if anything, I'm actually trying to think of a way to word it without it sounding freaking weird out of context. But no matter where I go, it always goes south.
It's gonna sound weird. You just have to bite the bullet.
Especially when you proceed it with that. Like,
yeah.
Anytime you proceed with, I don't want this to sound weird, everyone's going to immediately think, now, how can that sound weird? Oh.
Well, whatever, just cut that out.
Strike that from the record.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the downside. I don't really think before I speak sometimes.
Red, Zoe, and Ida are going to go out and gather some information on Amaru.
Yeah, and if anything, Ada will likely tag along.
Listen, this leash is just protect you from yourself, okay? It's not that, it's not that. This is like to like.
But, besides, Rat only has eyes for Elsa now.
Yeah. This leash isn't to infantilize you. It's just to protect you from you. Because, as you can remember, you got that cool little map, and I'm assuming you didn't show that off in front of everyone, did you?
Don't worry. I know a secret when I found one. And I plan on keeping that secret.
Where are you keeping that map?
Out of Kyoto, I actually have not thought of that yet.
Do you have a backpack?
You don't want to know.
Do you have a backpack or like a pocket?
You probably want to think about that. You probably want to think about that. Anyways, so Soma goes looking for Vincalmo, while Zoe, Rat, and Ada go look for the campaign office. What is Bastille doing? Dare I ask?
Sending spell.
Yeah.
Sending spell.
Coldra.
Okay.
First. Yeah.
Sending spell.
Forget about Big Man Coldra.
What is Coldra doing?
So he's got another way, just in case the sending doesn't reach them, which is he can cast Dream Message. So we've got two forms of trying to reach out to make sure she's even still alive.
Too bad it's not interdimensional.
Huh?
Yeah, if she's on another plane, that'll be the one thing that prevents that.
So, Soma will handle yours first. Soma, make me a diplomacy check.
You have a +4?
So we have a 26 from Soma. So Soma's looking for Vincalmo. This is actually rather easy because this is like public knowledge. It seems the receptionist yesterday really was not with it at all. Vincalmo's campaign office is actually just outside the city. And as you are heading in that direction, you actually are seeing a lot of setup going on. There's a lot of people who are working on preparing for and setting up for the opening ceremony, which is apparently supposed to start tomorrow on the 7th of Endora. So you're heading outside the city towards where Vincalmo's campaign office is.
Sure.
It's actually pretty close to the edge of the Primal Wood. And I mean, literally on the edge of the Primal Wood. As you come up to towards where you know that they know where the campaign office is, you're struck by one thing. You're out here in the woods, and you are hearing nothing. There's no wildlife, no birds, no insects. You're hearing nothing. It's actually very unsettling.
I probably honestly won't do anything because I'm just at the edge of the woods, but I just do like a quick little cast of root reading. Kind of extend my awareness out through all of the roots in the ground because this is also creepy.
So
You
this is where
you do sense the presence of a very large creature just inside the Primal Wood. Bipedal, you think?
Is it like a familiar sense? Like something I may or may not have sensed, wow, a month ago in game? 6 weeks ago? Something like that.
It feels similar. And just as you get towards the campaign office, you can see the door. And just towards the right of the campaign office, just at the edge of the primal wood, you see these red eyes, or at least they look like red eyes, looking back out at you. Make me a will save.
Cool. We all know how well those go for me.
This is what happens when we don't take a party member with you.
Hey, nobody wanted to come.
You didn't ask. If you asked, yeah.
I just assumed
Like, hey,
somebody else would come with me.
Bro, if you asked, Brad would have been like, "Oh yeah, all right, sure."
We don't know where you're going if you don't tell us.
37.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell you. It's fine.
37.
Yeah, but you didn't ask anyone to come with you. In character.
That's why I asked. Is Rat going with Soma?
Well, because like
No,
he's a more charismatic character. His skills is more aligned to talking to people, so that's why I didn't go with Zoe. I mean, with Soma.
So, with 37, you felt for like a second this urge to start walking off in a random direction towards the left or the right or something. You felt for a second this urge to walk in a random direction. And you were able to shake that feeling. It was like something was in your mind telling you to go away. But you resisted.
I kind of shake my head at the eyes. And then I'm going to cast a Seaver's Cloak and head into the office.
You're going okay.
Break. Yeah, I'm going in, not looking like myself though. I got a plan. It might backfire. So might die. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can absolutely cut away to somebody else now.
Okay.
I want to know what happens to Bastille's sending.
I'm mostly
So
curious.
do I. But still,
Yeah.
you send out this message. You're sending out this message, looking across the ether for Lady Fiore. As far as you can tell, she's not on this plane.
Okay.
That's bad.
I will inform Crystal regarding such and crew whenever they return that, like, yeah, hey, we ain't gonna find her looking here.
So, Zoe, Rat, and Ida, you're looking for Lady Fiore's campaign office.
Well, specifically Amaro.
Make me a diplomacy check.
Can I use them? Well, because Zoe has this special feature for them. Can I use my diplomacy check to aid them with their feature?
And I was gonna say, like, would this technically be considered trying to gather information?
Well, I'm trying to use. I was muted, so I was trying to say that.
Excellent.
Soma was just trying to find the office because she doesn't really know how to ask around for people. Zoe knows the city and is gonna try. I want to use Eyes of the City to try and track down our morals himself.
Yeah, and I want to use. Yeah, I want to use the aid action to try to give her a +1 bonus to it.
I was just unsure if like, either Streetwise or Eyes of the City would be that good in this case.
Okay, make me a diplomacy or society check. Since it uses either one.
Ugh. So
You-
I'm
sad.
gonna use.
You can story point that.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna use
You've got 2 story points.
We did it.
Hey, it's better.
Yeah.
And
All
that's a
right.
critical success.
Yeah, that +1 wasn't even needed, baby.
Boom. 43.
Critical success with a 43. That's a crit in 2 ways.
Zoe pops up outside of the bathroom stall that our moral is currently in.
Yeah, you find our moral within like 5 minutes. You find our moral in like 5 minutes. And and as you find him, it looks like he's actually getting ready to board a ship out of here.
You
I
going
think-
somewhere there, Pally?
Yeah, I think between Rat and Zoe, we kind of like probably come up on either side of him. Zoe slings an arm over his shoulder.
And there's
and
an
whatever
arm
makes
on his
sense with
shin.
his height. Yeah.
And there's an arm on his
Rat's
shin
arm.
too.
Slides a little goblin
jeez.
hand into his.
And then I don't know what Ida does. What did she?
I don't
Did she
want
get
to
the
know
hint?
what Ida does.
Yeah, did she get the hint and also put his arm on the other side as well? Like, hey. I'm curious, Twilight.
Jesus, like admittedly, I actually have no idea because I honestly didn't expect them, because I didn't expect to find them so fast.
Hey, Ida, come, help us be intimidating. God, just put your arms around him, around his shoulder. Just do it.
It's like you can tell that Ada's slightly kind of confused, but still kind of plays along with it, even if she's still a bit rough when it comes to talking.
So, what do you say? What do you say to him?
I think just like,
L-
steering him away from the
From the dock?
from the boarding. Yeah. From the
Yeah, obviously that. Oh, do you want to take the conversation, or do you want
No,
me
you
to
had
take?
a good line. I liked your
Ah,
line.
okay.
You start.
Okay. You going somewhere there, pal?
It looks down at you, and then up at Zoe, and then it looks kind of suspiciously at Ada, and he is like, yeah, I was fired, so I'm heading back home.
And just quiet, eh? That's all that's driving you out of the city?
Yes, I was fired. If I
Is
no
he-
longer have a job here, there's no point for me to remain here.
Can I sense motive on that?
Sure.
I'll roll you that nice perception check.
Can I do one as well?
Yep.
Checks out.
Yeah. Checks out.
Oh wait, we were doing a bloody perception check. Please,
It's a sense motive check.
Yeah. You
Oh,
you think he's
okay.
on the up and up. You think he's telling you the truth.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
For some reason, looked at my play proficiencies because I thought that I was back in 1E.
Okay. Well then. Oh. Okay. Do you want to use the same perception check? Because I want to ask a different question regarding when his appearance. Like, does he look like he's? Does he look like he's well dressed and stuff like that? Like, is he wearing nice?
No, he doesn't look well dressed at all. He looks like normal casual clothes.
Okay.
But do those clothes look like slept in? Or do they look like fresh?
They look fresh.
Okay.
Okay. So Rat's gonna do a little jingle jangle with his gold coins. He's gonna be like, "Well, buddy, since you're looking to earn some extra cash," he flips a gold coin into his basically. He tries to flip a gold coin into his pocket or his hands,
Okay.
and so since you're trying to gain some money since you got fired, mind telling us a little bit about Lady Fiore? You know, since we're such good friends.
What do you
Another
want to
coin.
know? I know she's missing. What do you want to know?
How'd
Wow.
you hear that she was missing?
I went by the capital to see if she would change her mind, but the receptionist told me she's missing.
When was this?
This morning.
I know I'm not there, but presumably the receptionist as well was told to keep this under wraps, correct?
We don't know.
Look, Bertha's not great at her job.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I called her last time.
Yeah, not exactly that great.
Okay. So you went there this morning to try to get back your job, and once you noticed that she was gone, you're like, well, might as well pack up my bags and leave. Head on to greener pastures.
I'm heading home.
Okay.
Where's home?
Portugal Islands.
That's fair. So, since, you're so completely uninvolved, who do you think did it?
I would look at that Vincelmo fellow. He's been sending her
Why
a
you
lot
say
of
that?
he's been sending her a lot of threats.
Sending her threats? How so? How recently?
I handled her bail in the campaign, and I know that she mentioned to me that she was receiving threats from him in the mail, or even messages left for her at the office. Up to the like a year ago, and then for the past year, I've been receiving a lot of threats for her at the campaign office.
And you knew these were from Vincalmo?
A lot of them, yes. A lot of them are from
What did you do
Vincalmo.
with them?
They should be at her campaign office.
Her campaign office, and where's that?
He draws you a map, and it's towards the central of the city.
Did you ever report any of these?
Yes. I
To who?
reported some to the Magi Guard.
And they didn't do anything?
They kind of marked it off as political speech.
That's a bit of
What?
a. Oh, sorry.
No, keep going.
I was like, that's a bit of a strange thing to see. Like, someone gets death threats. Like, let's say, for example, hey Zoe, I'm gonna slit your throat and then gut you right here, right now.
You could certainly try, Bitty boy.
Ex- And you, s- and if you tell the Magi Guard that, they'll probably send their finest after me. But you're telling me that, in a political sense, you could do that to your political opponents without any sort of slap on the wrist? That doesn't sound right to me, does it,
And
my
you're
good
telling
friend?
me, and you're telling me that as her campaign manager, you saw all those nasty things he was saying about her in the press. And yes, I read the papers. And you didn't once think to go to one of those reporters with what you knew? Maybe swing public opinion around in her favor?
I admit it was probably a mistake on my part to not report this to the press. What I do know is that the Magi Guard do tend to avoid getting involved in any sort of political events like this because they don't want to be seen swaying the election in either way. They want to be seen as neutral and non-biased.
Well, so what prevented you from, launching a campaign of your own?
I'm not the sort to run for office myself.
Oh, that's not what I meant. You know it. You get all these threats, you can try and convince your boss not to drop out of a campaign, and you don't even think of any other options to save your job, to save this woman's campaign, to save, you know, whatever it is. Who knows what that Como is doing? You know exactly what kind of man he is. And so you're just leaving Olympus, running back home. Probably for the best that you're not going to get a reference out of this, huh?
I don't know what else to do.
Well, let me give you a tip, buddy boy. Try not campaign managing for your next job. You're not very good at it.
Kyrene,
Ting.
you hear Kyrene come up behind you, and she says, "You know, Araboral, I would listen to her. Rather than leave, why don't you help? Don't be a coward."
Use my harsh language here, but this man's first chance to try to get his job back, he saw that the opportunity was gone, and his first thoughts to go on home. You think a man like that could actually stand on his own, regroup? Or are you the type to run away, Moral? Choice is yours, buddy boy.
Everyone make a diplomacy check.
Oh no!
And
I want to
with
be
a
clear,
plus
mine
one.
specifically is to get him back on that ship.
With a plus one
Oh, I forgot.
from Kyrene. If you're pushing for him to do something to help in the situation, it's a plus one from Kyrene.
No
Sweet.
plus for Zoe. Zoe thinks he should do it.
You
Right
did
on.
know you have a story point.
Yeah, but like it's funnier to keep it in. Yeah, you know what? I'll do it. Why
Hey,
not? It's not.
okay.
Okay, and for
Hey,
some
Ada,
reason it didn't add the 1, so I guess it's just 31.
Ada,
Number
which
32.
way are you pulling? Are you pulling for him to continue on his voyage back home, or for him to stay and do something and help?
Yeah, well, we could use just as much help as we could get, so might as well try and figure out some way to do both.
Okay.
See, my pal Edith over here understands.
So,
Whereas I just think you're a coward.
Also, just allocate to like
Kyrian says he's behaving like a coward, but he has a chance here to do something and not be a coward.
Jeez. Also, just out of Kyoto, are you trying to make Zoe sound British?
She's supposed to be Australian. And yes, so I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, because I literally just picked up on the accent, like when you say Tokyo Paco. Like I could very easily pick up that tone.
Yeah, it's definitely Australian.
Admittedly,
Zoe
I
puts
have
an
not seen.
imaginary piece of lint off of her vest.
I admit,
I had an
have not
Australian
watched
ex. I had an Australian ex, so. So you managed to convince the guy to set down his bags, and he says, "What can I do to help?"
Well, well, I'm under the. Well, I guess Zoe is a contractor, but I'm part of a group of detectives, adventurers. I don't know what we are, but our group is called the Hidden Archives. Our boss lady is Crystal. She's in
Yeah,
the.
I would probably say something along the lines of adventurers for hire.
Well, that's quite rude to call our little group like that, but essentially, that's what it feels like we are sometimes.
Yeah, but am I wrong though?
But our boss lady Crystal there, you can give her all the information there, and you can give us some tidbits of information here that we might be lacking. And then Red will proceed to tell them like the information that we have right now, which is very little.
Meanwhile, Bastille, what are you doing?
Well, so how does Crystal reply to the information that they're not either on this planet or in this plane?
Crystal calls up Kyrene and says she's the expert on extraplanar matters.
So yeah, he would inform Kyrene of the same thing, like, hey, yeah, tried sending, didn't get her. So means that they're nowhere near.
So, yeah. Soma, what is your disguise going into this building? Dare I ask?
Well, just as with illusory disguise, I can just appear as another creature of the same body shape with roughly similar height and weight. So I'm just okay. As heightened, any creature of the same size, even a specific individual, because it's remind me, because it's a focus spell, it's automatically heightened. or no?
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
believe
Heightened
so.
+3.
Yes,
Okay, so I'm
both.
casting this. Right. Okay, so I can appear as any creature the same size, not necessarily just
Yeah.
same
They-
body
they
shape and roughly similar height. Okay.
Still cost the same amount of focus points. They're automatically cast at whatever their max level is.
What is just like the largest demographic in this city that I've noticed?
Galvarn.
Gilvaran. Can I guess I would have to be a very short Gilvaran, right?
You could be like a Galvaran child or something, maybe.
No, I'm basically what I'm trying to appear as is like a member of the press, basically.
Okay.
Just like a, member of the press from reporting for the local newspaper. So just like
So you're effectively going for Peter Parker.
yeah, pretty much. Honestly.
It's
Pretty
like, I'm
much,
just
yeah.
simplifying the terms into media references.
I could be closer to Clark Kent, but same thing.
That too.
Well, because Peter
Good night,
Parker's just a
everybody.
photographer.
Yeah.
Just whatever it is, whether it be like Peter Parker or Clark Kent, either way, we have a comparison.
Yeah, I'm here as Clark Kent to interview Lex Luthor.
Like, I was about to say, if anything, that is a fucking brilliant message.
And yeah, so just like totally different kind of size, shape, in totally different outfit, in like, whatever a very professional looking outfit would be on Olympus. And like short dark hair, like very cropped, severe dark hair, severe looking, basically business suit. And I want to go in and first just like, is it just like a building on the outskirts of town, or like what
It's a building of it's like a little bit like the Wilted Tree Tavern. It's like this building that is carved into the trunk of a large tree.
Okay. So I want to going inside. Basically, my goal here is I want to try and interview Willkommen. That's not his name. Willkommen. Willkommen in Tanger. Welcome. Yeah. I want to try and like get an interview with him.
That a song from Iceland?
No, it's from Cabaret.
Ada's really lagging big time. Why does Ada's ping showing over 1,500 milliseconds?
And really, I have no idea why it sometimes shows like ping spikes, even though it's running perfectly smooth on my end.
That's weird.
Is it because I occasionally kind of click off of the tab?
I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah, but hey, this isn't the highest ping that I've seen. But a friend of mine managed to have like 5-digit ping.
Interesting. So he goes in looking like this Gelvaran news reporter. And the receptionist right up front says, "We're not doing interviews."
Oh, but I had an appointment.
What's your name?
Miriam Lafarge?
Your name's not on the list. If you're not on the list.
Oh, but I was supposed to do a profile on Mr. Stormire. We've had it on the books for at least a week. Please look again. And if honestly, just 15 minutes. That's all I need.
Make a diplomacy check.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. 35. So, 35, the person takes another look at the list, and they seem to be looking very much more closely this time. going line by line across each page. And 1 second. One second.
I will be surprised. If
1
it sends
second.
out a local-
Meanwhile, RP.
I mean, let's see. We had to wait to liberate Amaryl stuff, so like, let's yap for a little bit. So
yeah. What are Zoe and Rat and Ada doing?
well, we have to wait for Amaryl to tell us the information. So like,
I think we're all waiting to talk to people.
yeah, essentially.
So glad you
let's
let
just
us split
yap.
up into 3 groups.
Yeah, let's just yap of board. So
Yeah.
like,
So I found what I was looking for.
Oh,
So Soma, just as the receptionist is looking line by line and very, very, very closely, you see this Gelvarin. It doesn't look Gelvarin. Make me a society check on this person. This person looks it kind of looks feminine. It kind of presents feminine, but they have really short hair and looks really cheerful. And they come up and they ask the receptionist, "What you doing? What you doing?" And the receptionist says, "This news reporter wants an interview or something." Rasha, why don't you deal with this reporter? And this person comes up to you, Soma, and holds out their hand and says, "Name's Rasha Bardeen."
Rasha Bardeen, Miriam Lafarge. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm here to speak with Mr. Van Calmo. That's not Montefiore. What am I saying? I literally just said it. I literally just said his name.
I just like how you
Calmo.
just I just like how all this
Calmo
kind of
Stormire. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm here to speak with Mr. Stormire. If he's available, of course.
Oh, you're looking for Mr. Storebuyer. What a coincidence. So am I. With that society check, you actually believe this person is a Sunelvan. A Sunelvan.
Excuse you.
That got me.
Like, it was so dumb that it went back to being funny.
And I just like there was just like a moment of pause of just the freaking 3 anime style dots appearing over everyone's head, and then just like that joke has a wind up to it. Goddamn,
So,
now I'm all giggly.
Rasha looks. It kind of looks you up and down, Soma, and winks at you. Kind of takes you aside. You're not what you appear, do you?
Wait, okay, so they just seem to be Sunelvan? Are
Yeah.
they also a shape changer?
No.
Rude.
You just have good eyes.
Rasha winks at you and says, "I'm a scion."
Do they seem to be like trying to, like, was this said in such a way that the receptionist could hear it, or do they seem to
They're trying to say, like, whisper it.
keep this on the down low?
Yeah.
I just need to speak with. I don't think he would want to speak with me, but I do need to speak with Mr. Stormeyer. I wanted to call him Montefiore again, and I don't know why. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, like I was about to say, where the fuck are you getting Montoya from?
And Rasha says, smiles and says, "Let me see if I can help you." Rasha is wearing a very colorful outfit, by the way. And
when you say, do the colors match? Like, is it pleasing to the eye, or is it jarring and circus-like? For instance,
it is really pleasing to the eye. Yeah.
Okay, good. Probably not Xulgoth then.
Rasha heads over back to the receptionist, kind of leans on the desk, and is kind of winking at the receptionist and be like, "So, what do you say we let this go and just let the lady go on and do her business. Let her do her job." Right, the receptionist looks at Rasha and then back to you and says, "Fine."
Does Rasha appear to be casting anything? Like, using any kind of, like, abnormal means of persuasion?
Make me a perception check. Actually, make me a occultism check.
Yeah. Can I use oddity identification to
Yes.
add
yes.
my circumstance bonus here?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. This is so exciting. I've never been able to add as many of my to use any of my special features before this. Oh, thank God.
38
over from the 1.
38. You do believe they're using psionic powers.
Oh, it should actually be 40, I think.
Yeah, they do appear to be using psionic powers.
Alrighty. Well, pick what you can get.
So, as Rasha leads you towards where you can find Vincolmo, they tell you a little bit about themselves. They are non-binary but lean feminine. They are a Sunelvan living that used to live in the city of Babul on the eastern coast of Olympus, but they've never been really accepted there, especially by their father.
And who's your father?
An asshole.
Does Rasha have any, like, insignia or anything on their clothes?
Yeah, you think they're like Sunelvish symbols. Seems to have a very fun-loving, cheerful personality.
I don't trust them.
On the surface, yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust this person at all.
They talk like my character, and I hate that.
They're also just like sharing their entire life story with this weird person in a disguise they just met.
That they
I don't
know
trust
is
this at all.
disguised too. That's the funniest thing.
Yeah, hasn't dropped the disguise. Let me be clear. So what brings you here? I've got my little notebook out. So what brings you here to Olympus and more specifically to the campaign office of Mr. Stormire?
The truth? I'm actually spying on him. I've been spying on him for Lady Fiore for weeks.
Huh?
Sense motive. Is that
Go
legit?
for it. Go for
Wait
it.
a minute.
They are totally on the up and up. You believe them.
How do you not-
How have you not given yourself away?
Very carefully.
I look around the presumably empty hall we're walking down. So do you think that Mr. Stormire has anything to do with the disappearance?
They stop you and they're like, she disappeared?
You haven't heard?
No.
They're keeping it very quiet, but yes, Lady Fiore disappeared.
My gods.
I heard the magic guard had already been here.
She's the only one who's ever been really accepting of me. I owe her a lot. Anything you need, I will do whatever it is, whatever I can to find her.
I'm just a simple country reporter, so I don't know what I could take you up on for that. And I just big blinking eyes. Blink, blink.
Rasha winks at you. Yeah, sure. I get your drift. We'll talk about it outside. So, Rasha leads you to Vincalmo's office and whispers to you, I don't think he has ordered anything. I mean, I've been here spying on him. But whatever you can find, I'll ask around too. Okay?
I'm sure that would very much help the investigators who are actually looking into Lady Fiore's disappearance.
Earl, you don't have to play coy with me.
Plink, plink. All right, I'm gonna go into the office.
Imagine trying to play coy with this person who clearly is
this
already
freaking
seen through
telepath.
it.
Yeah. Ugh, telepaths.
So, you enter this office and you see Vincalmo sitting at his desk. His back is turned to you, and he seems to be on a comm with someone, and is really furious and yelling a whole bunch of insults. To be honest, you don't catch like half of it because he is screaming so much that his voice is cracking and shit. And honestly, I probably should repeat on stream what he's saying.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah, Elle would probably be working on bleeping it for hours. So,
I go up to one of, I'm assuming it's an office. There's chairs in front of his desk.
Yeah.
And we're going to go up to one of those chairs and sit down so that, like, I'm sitting there when he turns back around.
Okay. You also might want to muffle your ears because he is irate and screaming.
What's he mad about?
To be honest, you're only catching like half of it.
Can I catch who he's talking to? Like, is he talking to a subordinate, or is he talking to like someone who doesn't work for him?
You're not entirely sure because they haven't even gotten a chance to speak.
Okay. I was more like from the vibes of him on his end. But, all right. I'm just going to wait. I mean, I'm just going to wait here until he winds up.
You mean winds down?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I think you probably know the person that he's sounding a lot like right now. And that's all I'm going to say about it. After sitting here for about, it feels like hours. It really feels like hours, but you're sitting here for like 10-15 minutes, and finally he slams the comstone down on his desk so hard that the comstone itself cracks. And then he looks at that for a second and throws it against the he throws it across the room, just barely missing your head. And it shatters against the back wall. And then he opens his then he clicks this button on his desk and he says, "Hey, machine, order me another comstone." And machine answers back, "Got it. Put that on the charge." It kind of sounds like he has a habit of doing this.
Yeah. Mr. Stormire, if you're available, might I ask you some questions?
Who the hell are you, and how the hell did you get in here?
Miriam Lafarge for the Olympus Daily. We've had this appointment for several weeks now.
Eh. Fine.
All right. So,
Ask your questions.
Can you tell me some, just a little bit about, well, first of all, we would like to know if you are aware of the disappearance of Lady Fiore.
Just
Get out.
Going in. I'm straight
Just get out.
You
just yapping about this disappearance to everyone.
Disappearance to everybody.
Truly, like,
I need a
secret.
reaction. I want a reaction from this man. There is a reason that I'm doing.
You think I had something to do with that? You're another one who thinks I had something to do with that shit.
Another one. May I ask who already has spoken to you about this, sir?
Try to tone down that volume in post. I've been spoken to by the Magi Guard. I've been spoken to that bitch from Almana.
Are you, by that, do you mean Kyrene Kamuya?
I said bitch, right? Make me a perception
Is that
check.
a yes or a no? 'Cause I gotta say, there's a lot of women. There's a lot of women from Almana who could have come here.
Almana?
Almana.
Almanacs.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I see every time I look at that word. So
Critical success.
Elle, you have been on fire this session.
Yes, she has.
I had some other modules about 6 hours ago.
So you get the sense that he has an especial hatred towards Kyrene. Like, you are starting to wonder if maybe he sent some death threats to Kyrene as well.
Alrighty. So that's a yes. I like do a little notation in my notebook. And it sounds like you've told them you had nothing to do with the disappearance, but tell me, do you have any guesses as to what the motive behind a kidnapping like this could be?
You want to know who I think did this? Who I think did this are those bloody rats living in holes, those pests that are now washing our freaking cities with their filth. Those damn goblins.
I'm so glad I did not come. Oh my goodness.
Is this okay? So question. Lady Fiore's policies, was she like, what were her opinions towards goblins in Olympus?
You know what? That is actually a very good question. Make me a society check.
Righty.
Watch it turns out that she's horribly racist against my kind, but like I'm with the archives. That's why she's really nice.
To be fair, I'm not from here. I've never, I've maybe been to Olympus. Who knows? But I'm not from here, so I don't think I'd know. Just kind of make another note. Well, this has all been very enlightening. Do you have any final comments you'd like to share on this matter?
Yes. I would like to say that any assertions that I have anything to do with those scions of the void or that serial killer psychopath Xulgoth are completely false and baseless, and anyone who came up with a beep 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 beep.
So
he goes on a tirade after that.
So you believe that this has something to do, that this disappearance has something to do with the scions of the void, then?
Yes.
Well, this has all been very enlightening. Thank you for your time. You can, one of our editors will be in touch for fact checking this afternoon. Well, thank you. And I'm going to leave very quickly, and I'm going to go outside and cast Shadow Spy to follow him, and if he leaves this office, and report back to me once he has reached another destination.
Sure.
Okay, that's me. Just go drop the thing, hide in the bushes, create my little bloody homunculus into a bird, into a big raven, and toss it up into the rafters or into the eaves of this building. I wanted to rile him up so that he goes to a second location.
I suppose you probably did a damn good job of riling him up.
And up until this point, he seemed like such a reasonable guy.
Reasonable. Reasonable.
I thought that guy and my character was going to be best friends.
Just a real mensch.
Reasonable, really? I do hope you're joking.
Of course.
No, I'll trust him with my life.
With all those fucking death threats. Quick note before I swap scenes here. We do not in any way condone political violence.
I do.
We do not in any way condone political violence, says I, looking very, very, very squarely at Shadow. So.
I was about to say, you almost got me with that trick. God dang.
So, Ada.
Zoe.
Just to make sure Ada's awake. Ada, what are you doing?
So you think I have?
I totally think you've fallen asleep.
Now that I agree, like what I said was that I nearly fell asleep there. But can you really blame me? Like that voice was actually surprisingly soothing.
Very. And she was, I mean, surprisingly calm in the face of this irate, raging bastard.
Yeah, like, I could have actually probably fallen asleep to that, like if it was part of like a video or something.
I can't wait to get to the modern day after this flashback. Gonna kill him. That is if someone actually like shows off that information.
I want to make sure we do by the end of the session in the next 20 minutes or so. Oh, I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it. Good luck with that, she says.
Yeah. Okay.
So Ada. What are you doing?
If I remember correctly, like Ada was with Lad and Zoe. They effectively doing an information exchange of souls, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Almeril. Yeah, we told Almeril to give us the information that he knows. We told him the information that we know. Maybe fill in the gaps that we have no idea were there.
Yeah.
By the way, Soma, do you call Kyrene at all and tell her at all about what this guy seems to think about her?
She knows.
Keep.
Please.
I say, keep in mind, Rad gave Bastille like a look for sharing the information.
And Bastille
Yes,
did not
absolutely.
notice.
So you actually went outside and into the bushes, and which bushes, by the way? The ones
Just
at
like
the edge.
I was joking about bushes, but I just I go outside and step around to like an area that is not
The primal wood
visible from the road or the like building, the windows of the
Okay.
building.
Okay.
To cast this spell to make my little
Okay.
bird monkulus.
Once you do that, Rasha comes up behind you. Hey,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that this spell I think takes a little bit to cast. Oh no, it's only a minute. So they come up behind me, and I'm just like, it's blood, soil, and shadow. I have cut the back of my arm, dripped blood to make some mud on the floor, and I'm also just like pulling shadows out of the side of the building and smooshing them together into like a little clay bird that then turns into a raven and flies up. And then I
A
turn
literal
around.
clay pigeon.
What a lovely image.
Yay. Yeah,
If
I mean,
anything,
it's
that would
real
be a
gross. It
literal clay
smells
pigeon.
gross. Turn around, pull out a handkerchief, wipe the blood and mud off of my hands, and say, "Oh, good. I'm glad to see you. There are some people I would like you to meet if you are able to leave this place."
Certainly.
And then I'm gonna take them back to the inn where everybody else is.
So when you all meet her, she meet them. They introduce themselves as Rasha Bardine.
Tips hat. Pleasure to meet you, Rasha.
Oh, certainly. So you're all an investigator outfit or something?
Well, according to Boss Lady over there, we are, but in my opinion, we're just a couple of adventurers masquerading as investigators.
Crystal gives you a really pointed look.
I mean, am I wrong though?
With the crap you guys get up to? Probably.
And yeah, you hired us and still keep us on payroll.
I'm sorry to question
Mercs.
that with you.
I have done nothing yet.
Really? You shot one of your teammates in the butt.
It was a calculated risk. And I am bad at math.
Clearly. Raja turns to Soma and says, "So is the boss lady always so grumpy?"
Someone just nods. Very, very
I'm not grumpy. I am with him.
That was funny. What would his thoughts be on the fact that Rat has eat on a leash?
What would Rasha's thoughts be on that?
Yeah, because would they say anything?
Rasha,
Or are they just like, oh, that's neat?
Rasha looks at that and says, "Interesting. A goblin with a Gelvarin on a leash."
I mean, it's nothing like that. It's just that, I mean, he's just going to drop. I mean, he's not going to drop the leash. He's going to keep it on, but like,
It's supposedly to help with my sense of direction.
So Rasha,
yeah, exactly.
Rasha turns to Zoma and says, "So I'm to assume that nothing has definitely happened between them two."
No, what have I done? I'm sorry, Twilight.
I mean, it was your idea.
I meant to save your character. Brother, not ruin them.
Rasha absolutely thinks it's a king thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had her feeling.
Oh, jeez, and just out of character, who I thought that boy I was at.
Yeah, above board. It's funny.
I don't speak. I don't think before I talk, but I think before I act. You're the complete opposite. You think before you speak, but not before you act.
Yeah, that's my character in a nutshell. Love that. This is like the answer. Leash.
Without even thinking of the implications when
Yeah.
that could be applied.
Like I said, I'm bad. The risk was calculated, and I'm bad at math.
Like I was about to say, this was calculated, but boy, you couldn't add 1 and 1 together. You're the originator of 2 + 2 = fish.
Yeah. Oh man. You know what? The sight of this would make Vin Calma burst. Like he would die of a heart attack.
Probably.
Like, I was about to say, to quote up like another YouTuber that I watch, like, you have two plainstones that are actively fighting for third place.
Yeah.
And Kyrene is here, and she sees this and is like, yep, there's shit like that with the tribunal. Crystal asks. Crystal says to Kyrene, honestly, I don't know who's worse, the tribunal or the hidden archives.
You know what? I'll try my best to make sure the Hidden Archives is known as the worst detectives out there, just because you said that. Hibbs hat.
It's, I think we're trying to be the best, not the worst.
I mean, fame's fame. I mean, you're famous for your
One
terrible
is a lot
sense of
better
direction.
than the other.
And here's a solution that we have. He points to the leash.
It is also terrible at driving. Still owes Crystal for all the damage she did to the ATV. So, but
Think
still,
Ada's
what
a
are you
good
doing?
driver.
I mean, I was waiting to talk to Kyrene to let her know about everything.
Reason I was
Why?
about to say, I had a line planned for Ada, but I didn't want to say it because of the implications of it.
Just don't be a coward. Say it.
But I was about to say, she was like, to say, if you wanted it to be walls, I can make it walls. Before she effectively tried to, I guess you'd say, like, wait a minute, like, I was about to say more of a minor thing, but how long exactly is that leash? I was about to say, like, if there's a bit of it on the ground, then she would basically kind of like wrap a little bit of a leg around the what's left of it.
Jesus. Yeah,
I'm
it's like
surprised.
20.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a whip yet.
It's like 10 feet long, just to make sure she has like some room. It's like, yeah, I thinking, oh my god, what was I thinking?
We do not know.
And meanwhile, like, well, Ada's just laughing a bit at just how, like, just how Wyatt is reacting to it. Like, you can tell that she's actually partially blushing.
Brad is actively trying to like, hey, this is just to save her from herself, you know? Like, yeah, definitely.
So,
Yeah, but needless to say, Ada's mind goes wherever mind goes, and in the moment, it's in the fucking place.
I will tell you. I will tell you this, Rat. Elsa definitely thinks something's going on.
Oh my goodness. No.
I was about to say, like,
No,
you want to know what makes
God.
all
So,
of
but
this
still-
so much funnier?
But still, you could have a minute to take Kyrene aside.
So, well, first, because we didn't think, like, we found out Kyrene was here. So I would convey that to Crystal before Crystal gets in contact with Kyrene of like, hey, did you know she was here?
Crystal would say, "Yes." Didn't you?
Okay. No. We discovered this while object reading.
You know, remind me to have a word with you about respecting someone's privacy.
Even when that person is missing.
Yes.
We would not have found the death threats with doing such.
Wait a second. Death threats?
Yes, we brought those up earlier.
Not with me.
From the person she is running against. Here, I have some.
Leave this with me for a little bit. Go talk to Kyrie about whatever you want to talk to her about.
Very well. And so yes, then I would go find Kyrene, and then once again inform them that, like, hey, it doesn't seem like they're on the same plane of existence as us.
Kyrene shakes her head and says, "Not those damn shadow gates again."
You believe she has been taken to the realm of void?
I don't know. Shadow gates can go anywhere in the universe. So if it does have anything to do with the shadow gates, she could be in the dream plane for all we know.
Does anyone have magic that could track that sort of thing?
You know, your new friend there, Rasha, I believe, they're a scion. She's thinking about this. Get your new friend Rasha and Soma and have them see me upstairs.
We will do such when they return. They have each left on various missions of their own.
No, they're here now.
Well, because I imagine while this is happening, while they were out and about, because it's been quite a while. Since this is what Bastille was doing while they were out and about.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that this is like after everyone's met up, that shared information. The second day,
Yeah.
the 7th is now here.
Yeah.
This is like during the time.
Bastille told you we're not just sitting around doing nothing while everyone else was researching. They were conveying information to Crystal and Kyrene.
Okay, so this is on the 6th while everyone was dinking
Yeah.
around. So while Zoe, Rad, and Ida were talking to Amore, Soma almost died. Yeah.
Kyrene hadn't met Rasha yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, and also when Seth was dying of laughter as well across the entire damn thing.
So Kyrene says, let me think on this for a little bit. And then when she has a chance to meet Rasha, and she sees Soma here, and she then asks for Soma and Rasha to join her. I need to see you both upstairs. There's something we can. There's something we could do that might be able to track wherever Lady Fiore is.
Now,
I thought they were going to be in trouble.
Since this would go between nights, I doubt it, but it's worth asking. If she happens to be on the dream plane, I assume dream message would still reach them. If they're on any other plane of existence and not on this planet, dream message would not reach them.
It's possible.
Does know if the message was sent. While they can't respond, he'd at least be able to narrow down where they are. So does dream message reach them following heading into the next day? And or does it reach them immediately? Because if they're on the plane of dreams, then it would immediately.
It wouldn't be immediate, or it would?
I assume it would be, because if they're so the message is one way, up to 1 minute of speech, roughly 150 words. If the target is asleep, they receive the message instantly. If not, they receive it the next time they sleep. As soon as they receive it, the spell ends, and you know the message was sent.
Okay. It doesn't reach them immediately. It doesn't reach her immediately, but it does eventually reach her by the next day. And the next day, we've got torrential rains, and the opening ceremony is getting ready to begin. The opening ceremony is this grand parade that marches down the central street through the middle of the city. And you see people from all the corners of the world, even from Gothica. Not exactly Gola or Vrox, but there are Vrox here, yeah. But you see, like, humans from Gothica. You see people from Almana. You see people from Olympus, the Quartica Islands, all over the world. And this grand ceremony it really seems make me society checks. Yes, there are goblins here.
My people. You know what? I'll roll one because my people are here, even though it's a +1. But we ball.
Now I must specify, dream message is planetary. So does that still get delivered successfully? As I said, I just think the dream realm would be the only exception because it's going to someone when they're trying to get to someone when they're sleeping.
That tracks.
Yes, it does. You're not sure where in the dream planes, but
Okay.
it's
like
somewhere
like
there.
a
So at
study
least
check or
you've
something?
narrowed it down to at least 3 different planes.
Well, one plane, the dream planes.
Actually, there's 3 different dream planes. There's the dream realm, there's the nightmare realm, and then there's the awakening.
Oh no!
Well, in the message, because it can be up to 150 words, Ultra would basically say, "This is Ultra of the Hidden Archives. We are searching for you. If this reaches you, then we at least know one of the planes you are on. But if you can get out any information, even to our dreams or nightmares regarding your whereabouts, it might help us find you."
So, Zoe, you know that this parade really seems to be celebrating Galvaran history, as well as celebrating the history of when the Galvaran first met humans of Almana. And it's kind of beautiful, the history that they're celebrating here, the history of them being with cultures from all over the world. And with the opening ceremony having begun, that is where I'm going to end this session.
Oh,
I can't wait to beat.
See, I got to it so much. I got to it.
Yeah.
Also, in this opening ceremony, is there also a tribute to Revolution and the guillotine?
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait till we get to the part in the retelling where Galvarans just completely obliterate Goblorans by the millions. Like absolute, like yeah! It's like that scene from Star versus the Evil. It's like, yeah, we killed the monsters. We killed them all. Yeah. Wait a minute.
So,
jeez. And meanwhile, I'm just glad that Ada, I guess you'd say, got to mess around in a different way. And I now realize I forgot to think before saying it. God damn.
I want to thank everyone for joining us for this exhilarating episode. We will see. We will be back in 2 weeks on August 22nd for the next episode of this.
Episode of Mortal Dwellings.
Because the next session is going to be great. It's going to be a climactic ending to it. We're going to get the answers to everything that everyone's been wondering. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
I was
because
like,
if you
what do you
haven't
mean?
been able to tell, every single one of these sessions is fully scripted.
Yeah. Like,
I was about to say, what do you mean? Like the next session's gonna have all the answers? This isn't season 42.
listen, Ito, you're going off script. You need to read the script again. Go on.
And that was also in the script. It was on page 75.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Like, I was
over
about to
here.
say, I've been off the script since I joined in. Like they'll have like
They've ad-libbed every single. They've ad-libbed every single line here. So
They only gave me like 5 lines this episode.
Yeah, I know. We're sorry.
It's like if
You're on
anything,
break.
I'm just here playing Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Aren't we all?
aren't we all? See you next time on August 22nd for the next episode of all this. Bye.
Get on up before you go.